Okay, so I'm on a wrong side row, and I can tell that two ways. First of all, my first row shows me that, but also my tail is on the right hand side. So basically we're going to start the next section of our towel. We've already finished this bottom part, and we're going to start this stockinette stitch. And the way that we do that is we first of all have to set the row, the stitches up. And we do that by being on the wrong side row, first of all. And we're going to go ahead and slip our first stitch like we have been. We're going to do this throughout the entire towel. And we're just going to knit across. And what that's going to do is on the front, it's going to make a purl side. It's going to look like a purl. And that makes it just a nice definition between this stitch that we've been doing and the stockinette stitch. So go ahead and knit the entire length of your towel to the other side, and when you're ready, we'll go ahead and turn it. I'm not going to turn my tape off. It's just a short ways for me to get there. Always remember that when we're doing tapes, we're doing lessons, if you find a place where you have to stop in the middle of a tape, take your mouse up to the middle of the video and just click on it. That will pause your video until you can catch up. And then to restart it, all you have to do is take your mouse back to the middle again and click one more time, and that will restart it. A lot of times that's just the easiest way to catch up to what the person on the video is doing. So I'm almost at the end of my row. And it purled too. I've purled several. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. I have to fix a few things, but we want to just knit entire. Okay, so I'm on the right side of my dish towel. And now we want to do what is called a stockinette stitch, which means that we knit on the right side and purl on the wrong side. So we're going to do 3 rows, which means we're going to knit, turn, purl, turn, knit. And so those are our next 3 rows. So you'll do a knit on one side and a purl on the other side. And I will meet you back here when we get that finished. Okay, so you should be on the right side, and we should have 1 knit row to finish here on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and start that, and I pass that one. Okay, I'm going to try something new with my camera, so bear with me if I can't get it to work. When I get ready to publish, I can hopefully make this speed up the video. And so I'm going to go ahead and knit this entire row. I'm still learning about my camera. It's kind of fun. But if that will speed up things, that would make it very nice. But you're going to go ahead and knit this complete row, which will make you a really nice stockinette look, stocking look on the front side. And you will want to remember this for when we finish our seed stitch, which is going to be our next set of stitches, our design. So, and while I'm doing this, you can be knitting too, which is good. Then you don't have to pause the video. I'm really hoping I can get that. I'm hoping I can figure that out. It's actually my software that I use to put the videos together. Okay, so remember we have knit this row, which is finishing up our stocking segment, and when we get to the other side, then we're actually going to knit the other side too, which is going to put on kind of what I call our lip to start our frame, to start our next section. Oops, I split it. Don't want to split it. And we're at our last 3 stitches, which always get knit. So once we do this, we're going to go ahead and turn our work. And we have our nice stockinette right here, so we want to do our frame like we did before we began our stockinette. So we're going to go ahead and knit this side also. And then once you come back, I will show you how to do the seed stitch, which is really fun and easy. Okay, catch you in a minute. So I finished the stockinette stitch here in the middle, which gives a nice definition between the 2 designs. And our next design is called a seed stitch, and it's very easy. For this particular project, it will be knit 1, purl 1 on the right side, and on the wrong side it will be purl 1, knit 1. So basically you're just knitting and purling across. So I'm going to go ahead and knit my first 3 stitches, and I'm going to knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. So I'm going to do that across the right side. When I turn it on the other side, and I'm going to let you do this yourself until you get done. So I've already used I'm going to use this. I'm going to just keep pushing my big button, so every odd count will be the front side, every even count will be the wrong side. So remember, when you get to the wrong side, it's going to be, you're going to start with a purl 1, and then knit 1. And we're going to do this for about 1 inch. So you can use the part of your thumb that shows 1 inch. That's about 1 inch, and that would be just about perfect to do the seed stitch. And then I'll meet you back. We're going to go ahead and do another set of the stockinette stitch, and then we will finish off with our original stitch that we learned. Okay, I'll meet you back here in just a little bit. Our next section is going to be just like the first divider right here, and you can see I did 7 rows on my counter of the seed stitch. So now I'm on the wrong side of my knitting. I can tell by my tail coming out of the right side, and I can also tell because I have this rough section on the back right here where the divider is. See how smooth it is on this side, but on the wrong side it's rough. So I want to be on the wrong side, and I am going to knit straight across this row. And always remember, the first stitch is just slipped. This is the whole way up this towel. It gets like this, and then the first 3 are knit. And so since we're going across this row, all of them are going to be knit. So you just knit right across. Now, when you get completely knit across, you will have, let me turn it over and I'll show you. So you're going to go ahead and have a rough edge, just like here, and it's kind of like putting a frame on our sections. Oops, I dropped stitches. That was not cool. There we go. Okay, it's going to be kind of like having a frame on all of the stitches. So once this is knit, then you're going to go back and create another one of these, which, as you know, on the right side you knit, on the wrong side you purl, and then you're on the right side again to knit. So you have 3 stitches here. You will have a knit, purl, knit, and then when you turn it to the wrong side, you're going to knit across again to make your next rough row to frame it. So I'm going to let you get that far, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll go on. So you can see I finished my second set of stocking stitch, and it makes a nice little boundary between your different patterns. And I've gone ahead. Now remember, your stocking stitch is you knit on the front and you purl on the back. So I have a knit stitch on the front, a purl row on the back, a knit stitch on the front. And then when I turned it on the back, I did a second knit stitch, which creates the purl bumps, which makes a nice, again, a nice little frame. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start back into our moss stitch. This is a seed stitch, and this will be our moss stitch. So remember, that's 4 rows. The first row is 2 knit, 2 purl the whole way across. The second row is 2 purl, 2 knit across. The third is 2 purl, 2 knit, repeated. And the last row is 2 knit, 2 purl. And look down in the description. I will have the patterns for both the moss and the moss stitch and the seed stitch. Okay, so you're going to do this until you get about, I think I did about 10 inches total from the bottom of my my towel to the top. And once you get that far, then go ahead and stop, and we will do another video set on how to decrease and make the nice little tail that goes around our oven, and then we'll do the buttonhole. So we'll have to learn how to do the decreases and the tail and the buttonhole in our next segment. So this will be part 3, will be coming up. So go ahead and work on your moss stitch, get it finished, and I will see you in a few days to complete this dish towel. I hope you've enjoyed this. Happy knitting, and I'll see you on the next segment.